So hello, thank you very much. This is our plan to try and keep things simple, make things more smooth on the drop zone. We don't want to do lots of talking on the drop zone. We want to do lots of jumping when we're there. We've got the planes, we've got the weather, hopefully. We want to make the most of it, and we don't want to be on the ground talking about stuff when we've got technology. Oh my gosh, look at this. So we embrace it. This session will be repeated. If you have to leave, it will be recorded if you want to watch it over and over again. I mean, I would. Hello. And yeah, there you go. So why are we running Big Way? Why are we running the Big Way Skills Camp? It is our goal to try and teach big way skydiving in an environment without pressure, stress, or blame. And we do that by focusing on your personal performance and not worrying about completions. The problem with FS skydiving is that it's very binary. You either make the formation or you don't make the formation, and it's only one grip off, and then your skydive's ruined. And you can see why people end up going angle flying or wingsuiting or whatever, where no one cares about holding hands. Did you see the SOS Skydivers Over 60 record attempts this year? In fact, they just finished. The event in Paris just finished about a day ago, and they did 8 jumps. They were weathered out in California. They did 8 jumps, and I think they completed bar 1 grip on 5 out of the 8 jumps. 5 out of the 8 jumps. So they're 1 grip shy on 5 out of the 8 jumps, which is means they didn't get the record, you know. So 99 people did an amazing job, and 1 person or 2 people couldn't quite get their hands together, and it's that binary thing. So we're trying to avoid that binary thing. And the camp is, I love this quote. This really resonated to me. Someone sent it to me who was on the very first edition of this. An expert is a person who has made all the mistakes that can be made in a very narrow field.
Ryan, are you moving the slides along? Because we're still stuck on your first slide.
Are you really?
Yes, we are.
Because I am.
Or maybe it's just me.
Can anybody see the quote I've just read out?
No.
No, same.
Oh, rubbish.
So start again, Brian, please.
You were saying?
Fine.
Brian, I had this last time as well when I was on a meeting. Whenever I wanted to use a PowerPoint to scroll through, it didn't happen.
What? Thank you. Firstly, thank you to the gentleman who let me know. Secondly, has anybody? I'd say it's a PDF. I just thought if I opened up a PDF and just change page, it would work, but clearly it hasn't. Maybe. Oh no! Wait, hang on. Has that changed?
Yep.
That's it.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. There you go. So
Moving on.
that's what you missed. And then we read that bit out. Can you now see the quote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. It was a picnic issue. Problem in chair, not in computer.
Is this one of the mistakes you're talking about?
Yeah, why not? A very small field, very narrow field. Zoom, gotta love it. So the secondary goal of the camp is to create big way experts by allowing you all to make as many mistakes as you can in a space where you feel comfortable to experiment and see where we're going. So if you are here for completions, you are in the wrong place. This camp is not about the completions. It's about learning the skills you need and getting them wrong and making those mistakes so that when you go on an event where it really does matter, where there's a bit of pressure, you can see those mistakes about to happen and you think, hang on, I've been here before. And you use them as stepping stones so that you don't make those same mistakes again. You don't fall in that river of mistakes. But obviously we don't want to put anybody at risk. So I just want to run through the plan for the week. In fact, I didn't do any intros. Oh my God, so out of practice. I've got Rob Kendall here. He is my sort of co-lead organizer. Have we got Laura Hampton here?
We do.
Hello, Laura. Hello, Laura's going to be load organizing for us. And I've got Fleur Jones around. She's going to do some load organizing as well. In the camera crew, I've got Martin Skirbles around. I should have photos really, shouldn't I? Oh my God, the second version of this is going to be so much better.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, mate. And Paul Rimington, and I don't even know if I have Alex Potter. He's going to be one of the other cameras, and we're just negotiating on the other camera flyer. Anyway, so that was the introductions. We're moving on to the schedule. This is what you can expect at the drop zone, at the event. So Tuesday the 24th, day -2. So the event starts on Thursday, the 26th. Tuesday, the 24th, some people are starting to turn up early to prepare. Thank you very much. In Prague, we have a Big Wave Skills Tunnel mini camp in the Hurricane Factory, the 14-foot tunnel there. It's very nice. I think we've got 12 people on the Tuesday, the 24th in the afternoon and the evening. The drop zone is open. It's open from the 21st. There'll be one Skyvan and a Cessna 206. Don't mock me when I wrote the Cessna 206. It once did 85 lifts in a day. It is a monster. It's a turbine. It is so fast. It only takes 5 people, but it can do a lot. And also on the Tuesday, there is a group of people heading over for Will Fieldhouse's birthday. Is he turning 40 or something? I don't know. And he will be recovering from his birthday hangover. If you want to go out early, guys, they're a very welcome crowd, and they will happily drag you out to some Prague bars. On the Wednesday, the 25th, this is the day before the camp. There is one last early morning tunnel camp, and then Martin Skirble and I are hot-footing it over to the drop zone. We should be there at the drop zone around about midday, and we're going to try and bang out 4, 5, 6 jumps. When I say 4, 5, 6, that's for me, and then I'm going to take a break. Martin's going to try and do 10, I imagine. And everybody else, the drop zone is open for warm-up jumps. Please head out there if you can. If you could do 5 jumps the day before, that would be perfect. You know, you get to know the Skyvan, you get to know the doors, you get to know the landing area, everything. It's just, it will make your experience on the drop zone so much nicer. Also, we've got a Flight 1 course with Phil Webley. He's a top guy, and he is out for the head down camps that are running at the same time. And he'll be running a course, and it's specifically about flying canopies in big ways. There's only 15 slots on it. So if you fancy that, it's probably 5 or 6 jumps. Will be a link for that popping up. We'll share that as soon as we can. Thursday, 26th, day 1. Meet time, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then when I say 8 o'clock in the morning, I mean jumpsuits on, AEDs on, having registered at reception if you need to do that sort of thing. It's like you're good to go. We can put you on a lift at takeoff at 9 o'clock if we can. Day 1, we're going to be doing some 10 to 12 ways. You know, this is a beginner, this is a basic skills camp. We want to nail in the stuff when there's no stress. If we go straight to 20 ways, people are going to start getting stressed out, and I don't want that. I want people to have the time. I want them to feel like they are not in a rush so they can focus on it. People, when they get rushed, they flap, they make mistakes, and it just compounds. So I want people to be able to breathe and relax. And the priority here is going to be tracking teams. Everything else we'll be doing everything else as normal, but the priority here is tracking teams, because it's a 10 to 12 way. We'll be breaking off at about 7,000 feet-ish, and flying in pairs with each other, because we want to be using that when we're on the 20 ways, because you don't really get to see that unless you get some very large formations. And we're going to try and do 5 jumps. Day 2, Friday the 27th. Plan A, hopefully we'll be doing multi-plane. We want to be doing 10 from each plane. The planes take 24, so we could do 12 from each plane, or 12 and 11 with the camera flyer. We want to try and move everyone around as much as we can. We'll be slotting you initially in places where you feel most comfortable. You know, if this is your biggest formation, we want you to feel most comfortable. And then after that, we're moving you around the formation, so you get lots of variety and experience. You get to make mistakes everywhere. You get to make mistakes in the base. You get to make mistakes as super floater. You get to make mistakes as late diver. It's all good. And again, we're going to try and do another 5 jumps. Saturday, day 3. This is the big day. So again, more jumps from the Skyvan, more multi-plane 20 ways. 5 camp jumps planned, but we also have a 6th jump in hop. Martin, without giving anything away, can you say a few sentences?
Yes, of course I can. Hello, everyone. So in-hop is an in-hop. It's around in a nice scenic area. We're gonna show you the sketch of the landing area, and the first time you're gonna see it is from the free fall. So the way we do it, we'll brief, we'll jump. I'll go with the first group, and then we'll land somewhere where you're not expecting to land, and we're gonna be near a restaurant, so we have a nice dinner afterwards, and it's gonna be cool.
I love in-hops. I think in-hops are probably my favorite skydiving.
Yeah, I like in-hops when I have more than 5 minutes after landing to have an hour. I don't think I've managed to have an in-hop without either sweating or just coming back from the shower and getting told I'm on a 5-minute call.
No one cares, Rob. Just to let Rob know, we're trying to squeeze in a few more jumps. We want to do 20 jumps over 4 days, nominally 5 a day, but then the in-hop makes it 6. We have to move around if there's any weather windows, if we have to move around the other groups. So some days, I think we did 7 jumps in 2020. There was like 7 jumps in that day, and the last one was the in-hop. And Rob, because we go to a restaurant afterwards, and Rob's a very hygienic kind of guy. He wanted to go for a shower, and I think they were knocking on the shower door, going, "Rob, you're on a 5-minute call, dude."
I think I still had my towel wrapped around me in the tent, and then it was 5-minute call. Great, love it.
Yeah. So we helped him lock up his Sunpath tent, and then he still got on the plane and had a wonderful evening. And he has a story he can tell you about. Yes, so bear with us. There might be some movement on the number of jumps. The in-hop is amazing. So because we don't give you too much information, you don't really know where you're going to land. We'll give you a sketch. You don't get to see a photo because the photos have too much information on them. A sketch has all the essential stuff. So it mentioned power lines, big trees, fences, water, stuff like that, but not too much. And when you jump out the plane, it's like your attention is turned up to 11. It's just amazing. The colors are more vibrant, the sounds. Generally, it's just a little a speed star, nothing too crazy in the sky, just a 10-way speed star or something like that. Some people wear jumpsuits, some people don't. And then we get together, build a formation usually, and then go, where the fuck are we? As we're kind of like staring down at the ground, trying to work it out. And hopefully there's some smoke and stuff so you can see. And yeah, it's just brilliant. And then you land, and we'll stroll over to the restaurant and have a really good evening. Obviously we don't get too drunk because we have day 4. Day 4 is the last formal day of the camp. It's more 20 ways from Skyvans. Oh my God, so boring. 5 jumps planned. Release time is 4 o'clock. Oh, that's not supposed to be there. 5 jumps planned. Okay. Because I'm just going to scroll on. There you go. We're going to be on the ground for 3:30. Release time is 4 o'clock. Okay. That gives people plenty of time to pack and get to the airport if they're flying for the 8 o'clock flights back to the UK or back to Sweden or wherever. Excuse me. Because we're trying to squeeze in 20 jumps, sometimes finishing at 3:30 on the ground is not so easy. So we might try and squeeze in an extra jump on another day. We will see. Monday the 30th. So every year we end up going to Klatovy, and every year we do the camp, which is great. But then we have these amazing Skyvans. It's like, oh, I just kind of wish I brought my wingsuit, or I just wish I was doing this. I just want to do that. So an optional day at the end of the camp, if you want to stay on and have some fun jumps, you've got Skyvans, you've got 3 Skyvans there. It could be, if you want to do wingsuit rodeos, if you want to do a 9-way tube out the door, amazing, go on and do it. We're talking about arranging another Flight 1 canopy course with Phil, possibly something a little bit more advanced. We don't know, or listen, we're open to ideas and suggestions. So if you have an idea or if you want to do it, let us know, and we'll try and make it happen for you guys. Plan B. So I kind of covered this. It's if we, depending on the weather, so there's 5 groups going to be in Klatovy at the same time as us. There is a Norwegian 40-way group. There is Dieter's nominally German 40-way group. There's our Big Way Skills Camp, which is 96 people. So that's 2 40-way groups. And there is some head down world record training groups. So there's 5 groups. So it's quite a hefty number of lifts, but they've got 3 planes, so there shouldn't ever be a fuel stop. If they stagger the fuel loads, we should just keep going, and it's 25 lifts a day. I let them know I had some reservations, but they are confident it will work, so I trust them. They know what they're doing. But we will be flexible. I'm assuming it will be wheels off at 9 o'clock most mornings, whether that's for us or whether that's just for the DZ, and we'll take it in turns to be who's the first lift. Just be aware of it. And we'll just cope with any weather that gets thrown at us, if there is. Klatovy often has quite a dodgy forecast because it's in the middle of the continent, and there might be a storm, but the storm is often quite only for an hour or so, and then it clears and then it dries within another hour, and then we're jumping against. It's a very interesting location. Well, it's very alien location for me because I live on a rainy little island, whereas living in the middle of the continent is quite predictable. Okay, teamwork. I'm glad you're here. There are 53 people. This is amazing. So I'm going to split you all out into breakout rooms. I hope you can all talk. I'm going to do it for 3 minutes, and I want to hear what makes a terrible teammate. What could you do if you wanted to be the worst teammate ever? What could you do? What would you do? And if you've got some real stories of something that did actually happen, that's also quite good. So share that. You've got 3 minutes. So say hi to the other person, get to know them, and then share some ideas. Okay. And breakout rooms are starting now. Should be there to click on, maybe. Yes. Okay. I see you guys all disappearing off. Fantastic. So I'm just gonna stop the share.
A little bit sooner, a little bit later. Yeah. So we're not recording anymore, or we weren't recording. Right. Okay. Well, we get to do a second go on this, so it's okay. So yes. So identifying the base of the formation. Again, there the job is, after we're stable, is to get your bearings. Where is the base? Where am I going? And then the intercept. Then you intercept your appropriate point to approach the formation, which then means that we'll move on to the next step, or the next slide as we get further down. Wait 1 second, just on that. So here again, we're trying to explain using terminology, which we'll use on the briefings as well, and you'll hear it all the time. Present, identify, intercept. And what we mean by these is just the explanations that I've just gone through there. If you've forgotten them, you won't know if you're not on this presentation, but we will go over this again and again. But it helps just to get that first little hearing of the words: present, identify, intercept. Okay, Brian, would you like to move on to the next slide?
Next slide, please. Is there anyone here? So there's 54 people. Is there anyone here who can give me an explanation of quadrants, please? Would anybody like to?
It's 4 parts of a circle, so a quarter of a circle, with each part of the formation having a designated
hang on, sir.
area.
Just give me your name. I can't see who that is on the screen.
Oh, it's James, JB.
JB, James Brown. Where are you calling in from?
Sweden.
Sweden, fantastic. So carry on, James.
Yeah. So someone's just put it there. It's like it's a quarter of a circle, so it's like pizza. Everyone is assigned a quadrant. So if you have, say, a 12-person speed star, when you break, you could have 3 people in each quadrant tracking away from the middle, the base, and then splitting off after, say, 3-4 seconds to do tracking in their own separate ways.
Almost. So I like where you're going with that. I like the pizza analogy. I like the fact that we've split it into 4. I think quadrants gives it away. This is more about approaching the formation, though. This is about getting there. So as soon as you're out of the plane, present, identify, intercept, and we want to get you down into your quadrant of the skydive. So I don't actually have a graphic for that, but we want to get you to your quarter of the skydive, and then you can come in on your radial. Thank you, James.
Brian, just a quick one.
Go on, Rob.
I've got that written down here. I'll just read through it. It might just embed it a little bit better. So quadrant can often be called sector as well. Different terminology is often used for these, but the general idea is the same. It's all about having a zone of your own to stay in, from exit to formation, to ensure a direct approach and minimize the risk of getting in the way of others. Your portion of the completed skydive is often referred to as a sector, quadrant. This might be a pod or a whacker group. The quadrant is your 90-degree zone. You must stay in your own quadrant from the start of the skydive, and then your focus should shift to your more specific approach path, which would then be your radial.
Thank you, Rob. Yeah, Rob highlighted a resource he found recently, so we're probably going to share that as well, along with some other resources. Once you're in your quadrant, we want you to think about radials. Is there someone who isn't Rob myself or James Brown who is able to explain radials to the group, please? Go on. Jump out of planes for fun. You can definitely talk down the internet.
Go on then, I'll have a go.
Perfect. Thank you. What was your name, sir?
It's Vince Adams.
Vince Adams. Thank you very much. Where are you calling in from, buddy?
Neverhaven. Well, Filding, which is a village next to Neverhaven. So.
That's in the UK. Fantastic.
So this is basically your line of attack to your slot in the quadrant, making sure that you pick that up, go down to your position, keeping on that radial so that you're not, sort of skating around or going across radials and cutting people off or getting in people's way and being dangerous. But your line of attack to your slot in your particular quadrant.
So Nethers is a military drop zone, isn't it? A line of attack. It's very, very, very.
Was that a little bit too aggressive?
Yeah, no combat docks, please, sir. Very soft, gentle docks. But yeah, what we got here. So here's a little, here's a nice resource. This is your radial. It's the line straight through your center point to the middle of the formation. Left one shows an 8-way, the right one shows a slightly bigger formation. Everyone's got a radial, like the spokes on a bicycle wheel, and that's how you come in. And if you come in a straight line, you're not going to bounce off people, and it's all kind of orderly. And it's, although we converge in a point, it is as much order as we can get. Rob, do you want to add some more detail?
I could pretend to be really clever, and I'll read the next paragraph.
You sound like you read my mind.
Your radial is your specific line of approach. It's an imaginary line from the center point of the formation out through your assigned slot, a bit like the spokes on a wheel. To avoid collision, you must fly a disciplined approach on your own radial. The larger the formation, the more specific your radial will be. It becomes even more vital that you stay on your own radial and don't allow yourself to drift into anybody else's. So actually, I think that's really well put. It is a resource that would be worth sharing.
Perfect. I'm just going to share this photo. Can you guys see that photo? I love this photo.
I can see me.
I like this photo's great. This was a 20-way in 2020, I think. Martin Skirball took this photo. Nice work, dude. Pretty much everyone there is on a radial, and you can see them on the radial on their way into the formation. It's brilliant. I challenge all of you here and all of you listening, everybody on the camp, to make a photo, to be part of the photo like this that we use to teach next year's camp. Okay, I love everything about this photo apart from the load organizer. It's not me. I'm not gutted. Okay. Cool. Should be back on the slides. So next up, quadrants, radials, and then we talk about this thing called the stadium. So Vince Adams, thank you, sir. James, thank you for your input. Rob, you're so smart. Is there anyone who would like to explain the stadium to us, please?
I'll take this one.
Fantastic. Is that Joe?
Yes. Yeah.
Where are you calling in from, buddy?
Red Hill.
Red Hill, south of London in the UK.
Yes. Yeah. Gatwick. Yeah. So what I think a stadium is kind of, I guess, if you're visualizing a stadium, like what you'd go sit in, to kind of your approach of getting to the formation, of the way that you're essentially kind of, it's pinned to a doctor pin, essentially. I think that's what it is.
Sounds about right. So there's some pretty pictures. Stadium approach, yeah, as if you're in a sports stadium. As you get a bit closer, you're just guarding your height a little bit carefully until you're down. Now, I like to say you want to come in at about 30 degrees, 30 to 45 degrees. So 10 feet out, 5 feet up, 20 feet out, 10 feet up, 2 meters out, 1 meter up, however you want to call it. But that sort of ratio, I say that because anecdotally from history, I see a lot of people exaggerating how steep they are on the formation, and they're coming in too steep. And if you're a bit steep and somebody else is a bit shallow, you could get together and then you've got a tumble, you know, a collision, and could hurt, but it could also mean that you're not going to be in the formation. So if everyone comes in on the same angle, so aim for 30 degrees, and if you get it wrong and you end up at 45, that's still okay. But if you aim for 45 and you end up more like 60 degrees, 70 degrees, then that's way too steep, and you've got potential for hurting somebody there. So 2 feet out, 1 foot up, 10 feet out, 5 feet up, something like that. And you can see a diagram there, and you can see a really nice photo by Gary Wainwright, who took one of the previous photos. What a legend. Soup from the band, everyone.
There was a good question in chat there, Brian.
Oh, was there?
Although it wasn't about the stadium, but it still was a good question.
Hang on. Do we jump no contact? Some of the skydive. So there will points. There will definitely be no contact points, but you know, we're here for big wave. We do want to build a formation. We do want to have that completion, but with regular events, the completion is the main course. And the sequence, and whereas here for the big wave skills camp, the completion is dessert. The main course is actually learning the skills, recognizing being in the on your radials, recognizing being in your quadrant, recognizing the stadium approach, recognizing and being able to fly in tracking teams. That's your main course, and then the completion is your dessert. So we do want dessert, but it's not the priority. And somebody asked about lead as well. Yes, there is lead available in the drop zone, but there's going to be 200 people in the drop zone. So probably best to bring your own just in case, or get there early. And then getting to the formation, fly politely. So I didn't really know how to describe this one, but I just wanted to say, be aware of everyone else. Have your, don't have the blinkers on. You're not trying to get straight to the formation. Be aware of who's around you and fly considerately, fly politely, both in free fall and under canopy. Give that person space. If there's space, why not give them the space? If there's space to be had. You know, you don't, just because there's enough space doesn't mean you have to take that space. You can give people more space than they need. Be kinder than you think you need to be. So, Joe, thank you very much for your input just then. In the formation, be a team player. You don't dock and then relax and go like, oh, look at those people over there. Oh, unlucky for them. Help the formation fall faster. You take smart docks, dock high up on the leg grip, because that means that the person you're docking on can still move their leg to fly. They're still going to be in control. If you take their knee grip, then they just struggle a little bit against your arm. They're not going to be able to fly as well as they can. Take a smart dock high up on the leg. Dock and arch. So many people get to a formation and then they just chill and relax. And they're like, okay, my job's done. I'm here. No, your job is not done. We're a team. We're here to help everybody. Everybody has a choice. And once you dock, some people say match the fall rate. I feel like if you match the fall rate, you could potentially fall a little bit faster, or you could potentially fall a little bit slower. And we definitely don't want you falling a little bit slower. So please aim to be 1 mile an hour faster than the rest of the formation. And then if you get it wrong, you're at the same speed. And if you're a little bit faster than that, then that's okay too. But we want to keep that speed up. Jumpsuits do tend to extend when you're reaching out to take grips, you're catching more surface area. Formations do tend to slow down the more people that dock on them. So if you can arch a little bit faster than you would normally, that should compensate it and keep the speed up and allow everyone to be able to get in on the formation, because that's what we're here for. We want everyone to dock on the formation. And we want everyone to dock on the formation because we're helping them, not despite us. Okay. Getting away from the formation. We're going to be using tracking teams on every jump as much as we can, because we just don't see this skip. We just don't see this anywhere else. Tracking teams. Is there anyone who'd like to discuss tracking teams? Go on, there must be somebody else.
Yep.
Go on, who's that? What's your name, sir?
Stefan.
Stefan. Where are you, buddy?
Sorry?
Where are you?
Vienna.
Vienna, fantastic.
So tracking teams, you start out, well, nobody's tracking away from the formation alone. So you pair up as briefed. and you stay together, track away from the formation, and then you try to fan out and gain separation.
Yeah,
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, thank you. So what we do is we can't, so this comes from really big formations like 100, 200. You can't have everyone sharing 360 degrees equally because no one can judge 1.4 degrees per person or something like that. So what we do is we get together in a group. We'll start off in 2s and 3s. Bigger ones are like 10, 5, 10, maybe 15 or so. And you all track together and then you fan out. We don't burst. It's just a fan out. It's just a few degrees between each people, 10 degrees or so. But because we're traveling so fast, because we've had a 1,500 feet of fast tracking, extra speed, you can go a lot further. And so we all get, we sort of bring control to what can be a very uncontrolled scenario. I'm not sure I could explain that particularly well there. I'm definitely going to be going into this in more depth before the camp. I've got a really good article I want to share. Rob, what did I miss?
It's tracking is one of those that is very difficult to explain without using props. And what I mean by that is actually being on the drop zone and then having your tracking groups, what to do and what not to. That's visuals that I do feel that's very difficult to explain.
Thank you.
It's okay, I thought I'd help.
I'm having a lot more fun tonight than I thought I was going to be. I was a bit nervous about talking in front of 50 people, but I'm having fun. I hope you guys are too. I'm really sorry if you're not. Under canopy, we need to fly with discipline. We are part of a team. We're not going to do any turns bigger than 90 degrees under 1,500 feet. And to be honest, you shouldn't be doing any turns bigger than 90 degrees at any point on a big way. You know, this is a 20 way, you could get away with it above 1,500 feet, but we're practicing to be on 100 ways. So just don't do it, but under 1,500 feet. So what I'm going to do, what I do on my lift is I'm going to land and I turn my camera back on and I look back up and I watch everybody flying in the pattern. And it's a really, really easy way to only do one jump, is to fly inconsiderately, to fly dangerously. It's the number one thing that could get you stood down from the group because we just can't take that risk. Valerio, I'll come back to your question later on. And you're not finished until you're off the landing area, okay? Till you're back in the packing sheds, you're not finished. So keep your eyes open, look for the canopies coming in, okay? I've definitely seen some nasty injuries from people getting collided. In fact, the largest ever payout in British skydiving's history on our insurance was due to a collision on the landing area. So yeah, keep your eyes open, guys. Debriefing time. So we have to have a bit of a hustle. Yes, there are 5 groups. There is plenty of time between landing, but there's going to be some, we're going to have to be fairly prompt in the debrief, in the debrief for the video. The debrief will start 20 minutes after your load organizer gets back to the packing tent. They'll drop their kit off. They will work out what 20 minutes from now is, and they will put that in the WhatsApp chat. And you're expected to be there. If you cannot pack in that time, please arrange for to have a packer. If you have a packer, maybe you could grab a bottle of water or some snacks for the people who are packing for themselves. It can get quite hot in May. Just look out for your friends.
I'll just jump in there, Brian. So I think because
you got something else to read, have you?
Sorry, no, this one is just personal experience. Because we have 5 groups, I have the feeling, although we won't know until we turn up, I have the feeling that we won't be down packed, rush to get debriefed, rush to get briefed to get back on the aircraft, because there is other groups that go in between. But what I do like is having everything out the way. So that means getting down, not having a chat, you know, and then getting into the packing area, either where you need, if you drop the rig off, or if you're packing for yourself, to get everything done so that you have nothing else to do after the debrief. And that's a nice place to be, because then you know when you've had the debrief that time until it's time to brief the next jump is yours, and you're not having to worry about doing stuff after the debrief. Because what tends to happen is when we are debriefing and it does drag out a little bit, then people start getting nervous and they're not listening to the debrief anymore. they're waiting for us to finish so they can do whatever they need to do. So it might be going to the toilet, getting yourself something to eat, or having your rig packed or packing it yourself.
Thank you, Rob. Yes, absolutely. I'm sure some people will feel rushed, but there should be no reason to feel rushed. There should be plenty of time. But with no one having done this before, I'm sure we feel rushed. So it won't be rushed, but again, there won't be time for a 3.3 course meal between jumps. What next? Thank you for the photo, Paul. That's me looking studious.
Brian, sorry, I just see it now. Any issues with getting packed jobs? I think you will find that with 5 groups, there will be, it might be a little tight getting packed jobs, or there being a lot of rigs to pack. But with Klatovy being Klatovy, they'll probably, I'd like to think that they'll have enough packers on site to cater to us all.
Yeah, I don't. It's been a while since you registered for the event. For some people who registered for the event, and one of the questions was, will you be using a packer? Yes, no, maybe. And I will be feeding that information back to the drop zone so they can provide sufficient packers to. So if they know demand, and they can make sure they've got enough packers. The packing area is generally lots of space outside, but inside might be a bit tight. I don't know if they're going to have the marquee up this early in the year. They don't normally, but they might do for 5 groups. I'm going to get to a few questions towards the end of this because I appreciate we're a bit tight on time. We are going to repeat this one in 2 weeks' time or so, and then hopefully there'll be another one beyond that. Hopefully to get to know everyone a little bit better, but also to run through some more theories and things in a bit more detail so we can save some time on the drop zone. With 1 month to go, I'm going to be putting out another request, another form for you guys to fill in, and it will be asking about your height and your weight so we can work out your full rate. It'll be asking about the number of jumps you have this year, the amount of tunnel, and other things, maybe even like packing, so we can assess if people have changed their mind, something like that. A bunch of questions that'll help us. Rob works for Sunpath. He's very kindly donated a t-shirt. Let me stop the share. Let me find another share. Can you guys see that random number generator? I have 119 people on the Big Way Skills Camp and the Bigger Way Skills Camp. You've got to be here to win it. I have a list of the names in the order of the people who signed up. And the winner of a snazzy little Sunbath t-shirt is number 21, which is Griff Jones. Griff, are you here? Griff, are you here? If you're not here, you don't get a t-shirt, dude. I don't think he's here. Do another one.
I'm here.
Oh.
That was quick.
I was trying to find the unmute button.
Okay, well done, Griff. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to seeing you. This is what, your 3rd camp?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good. Yeah. I'm so glad that you're coming back. And sorry, Clive for Darkish. You would have won a t-shirt, but Griff was just got in there and said it just before you. So we don't get one. Griff gets one. So Griff, we'll reach out to you offline and get your size and preferred colour, and then Rob will give you whatever he's got left when you get to be a mate.
I like that. I like that, Brian. We'll get your size and preferred colour, and Rob will give you what he has.
Yeah, fat bastard size.
He's got lots. Oh wait.
Oh, I was waiting for it.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions? It's 8:59. Oh my god, we planned it like this. That's amazing timing wise. I don't know how we did that. So there were a few questions. Any idea of jump prices yet? It's on Martin Scoville's answer. It's €36 per jump from 14,000 feet. I think we go to a standard. The website is skydiving.com. It has aerial photos of the landing area. Valerio, I don't have a photo right now, but Google does. It's 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for being here, guys. If you want to head off, that's very welcome to right now. We are going to do a quick Q&A, and then I'm going to pester Rob for a quick story. So you're welcome to stick around for 15, 20 minutes. A few of us will be here, but if you have to head off and do other stuff, thank you very much for being here. I hope you have a great time. Hope to see you online and then in the sky again. Stay safe, stay sane, stay calm, and make good decisions. Thank you.